Okay, so we need a plan. So after speaking with my physical therapist for a couple of months already, it's been about 2 months. We've been going back and forth and just kind of seeing what works, what we can do with my knee, how we can offload things. And we kind of discussed this, and the first thing we need to do is we need to fix the imbalances in my knee. For me, it's focusing on hips, glutes, overall stability, flexibility, and it really is a combination of a whole bunch of things. Now, the main issue, at least what he's assuming and what we're kind of basing everything on, is my IT band. Now, that's a common kind of running occurrence. It's this long band that runs from your hip all the way to your knee, and it causes some issues if it's too tight, and it's a whole thing. But there's ways of kind of working that and just kind of loosening it up and just kind of getting into the motions of building that strength again in that leg. And so some of the things he's kind of suggested was warming up, doing kind of these banded walks that you're going to see, these kind of sprinter kind of motions and movements. We have single leg balances, and then just some more kind of controlled PT style movements to kind of increase the volume on that knee. It starts out slow. It's really boring, and sometimes it drives me crazy because I just got off running 26 miles. I just ran a marathon. And so it's so irritating to kind of step all the way back from zero and just, be here. It drives me nuts. So, and a part of it, I'm just kind of stubborn too. I'm going to show you some other things that I'm doing on this side. I'm lifting, I'm pushing some sleds, I'm doing a whole bunch of things because it doesn't bother me. So you're going to kind of see a little bit of that here mixed throughout the video. Okay, so let's take a look at what these weeks are actually going to look like. Each week is going to include some sort of strength training. It's going to have some mobility work, some flexibility, and we're going to gradually throw in some runs in there so that way we can start building our running and getting back into the sport. We're going to get there. It's going to be a long process. I'm expecting it to be one of those things where you're like, okay, we're 16 weeks in and we can barely do a 5K. So it happens. It's running. It's the reality of running. You're going to have highs and lows, and you're going to hit rock bottom, and you're going to, it's how alive the sport actually is. And so it's a journey. So don't rush it. Just have fun. Now, like I said, this week's going to include strength training. We have mobility work. We have band work to kind of get our legs moving and kind of strengthen our IT band and all that kind of stuff and the muscles around it. And like I said, we're getting into running. So that's going to include like a mile run, and then we have a 50-meter run with a minute and a half walk, another 50-meter run with all the way up until we get to 2 miles. So it's going to look like that for now. Very slow, crazy, just attention to detail on this stuff. We're taking in consideration how our knee feels and how is it hurting. There's a lot to it. We don't want to hurt ourselves even more, so listening to your body is going to be crucial. So the next kind of clips you're going to be seeing are just kind of a few little montage videos of what my week's been looking like so far up until kind of creating this video. So as we get into more of the videos, you're going to see kind of more detailed stuff and how we're doing these things and more stretches and all that kind of stuff. But for now, I want to just emphasize we're starting slow and rebuilding and getting back into running. Okay, so we have about 2 miles today. That's kind of what's on the schedule. Now, if you're just kind of new to running or getting into it or just kind of starting over like I am, what's been prescribed by my physical therapist is run 50 meters, walk a minute and a half, run another 50 meters, walk another minute and a half, run 50 meters. This kind of run-walk kind of balance. Now, today I'm just going to kind of run through and see where my pain kind of holds up. So if we get to a mile and then we're pain free, we're going to keep going and keep rolling and see where we stop. And if not, we'll finish off with that kind of bracket, but we're not going to push it too far. I don't want to really mess up my knee. We're just going to see where that pain kind of hangs out. So let's get it. All this love that comes and goes feels like playing hide and seek with guns. In these streets we used to own, you've just shown around. You always say when I come. Okay, so just finished the mile. My knee's feeling a little tight. Almost there. We're walking this one lap and then we're gonna finish off this last part of the second mile. So yeah, let's get it.
I think with this training and just kind of getting back into running and, rehabbing my knee, I think the important thing that all of this is teaching me is patience. Man, it's frustrating to kind of been, hanging on this knee for a little while. It's been 2 months already and I can barely even run 2 miles. So it's been frustrating, but I think there's some lessons in this as well. Sorry for the sun. It's going to kind of block me out for a bit here, but there's lessons in this. So I'm a very instant gratification kind of person. And so I think this is just kind of God telling me, hey, slow down, enjoy life a little bit, and be patient, man. Put in the work, learn as much as you can, and just keep moving forward. I think that's the important part of it, is just, some days are going to be harder than others, and man, this sucks. So anyway, let's finish it up. About to finish off this mile walk and wrap it up with this run. So let's do it.
Okay, so I've been running for a little while, and just because I'm sidelined doesn't mean I have a whole bunch of tips, because I'm still learning, but I'm going to share a few things that I've learned along the way that may help you just kind of even get started. So tip number 1 is stay consistent. Consistency beats absolutely everything in running. It's just, it's compounding. That's what it is. That's all running is compounding over time. You're going to get better over time. So day 1 is absolutely going to feel horrible. Put on your shoes, get to a track, run however much you can. If it's 1 loop around the track, perfect. If you're absolutely gassed at that, perfect. Just start, right? If it's 2 laps, perfect. If it's a mile, perfect. Whatever you can do, just start, all right? That's going to be so much better than just kind of like, okay, I got this whole plan. This is 32 weeks of running and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's cool and all, but like, just start, don't overcomplicate it. That's all. People overcomplicate running so much, and it's just like, just run. Okay. So whatever you can do, if it's, a loop around the track, great. If it's a mile, great. Just start. If you want my honest recommendation, what I would do is, and this is something I'm doing currently from my physical therapist, this is what he kind of prescribed me to kind of get me back on my knee and just do my rehab, is running 50 meters, which is 2 times around a track. Right? And then walking for 30 seconds. Walking for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And then running again for another 2 loops, and then another walk for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And you do that until you get to 2 miles. Now, that's for me, right? But I've already been running, and I've been doing this and working up towards it. So if you're looking at something to that kind of nature, what I would say is maybe even just kind of scale it back a little bit. Do 1 loop, right? Walk a loop, run 1 loop, walk a loop till you get to your mile. That's one way you can go about it. And for some of you, that may be super tough. For some of you, that may be super easy. Scale it back and forth. So overall, just kind of getting started is consistency. Don't worry about the best shoes. Don't worry about the best watches. Don't worry about time, pace, or anything. Just start. Tip number 2 is stretch. Oh my gosh, this is something that I never did. I am guilty of this. I am guilty of not stretching before and after runs, and it's something I've learned. Honestly, it could be the reason why I'm injured right now. I did not stretch, and maybe that's something my physical therapist is going to look back at this and see like, okay, now we know why it happened. But just stretch, and I'm talking dynamic stretching. Static stretching is pretty good, but dynamic stretching is all your like leg swings, hamstring sweeps, ankle kind of rolls. You have some marches that I recently learned from my physical therapist. Super cool. I love them. And just kind of some balancing work to kind of get your legs moving a little bit, all good. But just make sure before your runs you're stretching a little bit and getting some sort of movement in, whether it be some high knees or all that kind of stuff. Just get moving. All right, so stretching is tip number 2. Okay, so the last little bit of this is mobility work. Now, I'm not the greatest runner in the world. I've been running for 13 years, and I've loved it so much, but the one thing I've neglected in my own running is mobility work. I do not focus on anything mobility-wise. I don't focus on bands. I don't focus on strength. I just ran. It was something I did, and it was how I kind of just cleared my mind. But mobility work goes such a long way, and honestly, I mean, like I said, in the videos you kind of saw, a lot of that stuff was just me working on mobility and just kind of strengthening and all that kind of stuff. It's stuff I never did. But now I understand why it's important. I understand why you need it. I understand what it's good for and how it strengthens. So don't be afraid to add mobility into your program, or don't be afraid to add any of that stuff into your kind of routine. It's going to help you, I promise. Okay, so that's a wrap. We have a video. We have our plan. We have just kind of some tips to kind of get us started. You kind of been seeing what I've been doing. Feel free to copy some movements. And as we go through it, I'm going to show more detail on kind of what we're doing, and kind of just stick around and check this out, because we're going to get back to running. We're going to run a race at some point. The goals for this year are to run a 5K, a 10K, and a half marathon. I don't want to see another marathon for a little while. I just want to get back to running pain-free. So thank you for sticking around. Yeah, we're going to do this, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see you later.